excited that with some offensive weapons like Brock Bowers and Kobe Myers and Trey Tucker in front of you, you're going to see fewer loaded boxes this year?
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, to have a great group of teammates around me. So I'm looking forward to it.
Ashton, how do you feel about going to the AFC West? Four coaches that have been to or won a Super Bowl, and of course the Chiefs have won the division 9 straight years. Just talk about going to the AFC.
Yeah, just a competitive division, and but I'm ready to compete, and that's what you want, and I'm excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and ready to shake things up a little bit.
Ashton, you do me a favor and lift up your right sleeve real quick. You got a Haitian flag on there, right?
Yeah, Nabule.
Ashton, you're playing for Pete Carroll, who is famous for drafting Marshawn Lynch and having a running back like that. Do you look up to Marshawn Lynch in play style? Do you have to be that down?
Yeah, he's one of the first running backs I started watching, and I just love his aggressive style of running. So definitely looking forward to that. And he just texted me earlier, so it was pretty dope.
You like him with Skittles with their candy shirt?
Yeah, not quite Skittles, but I'm more of a Sour Patch Kids guy. No, it's great. You know, just from the short time of knowing him, I could see why so much people like him, and how much success that he's had as a coach and his players. So I'm excited to be another player a part of that. Um, just to be the next one, just continue carrying on the legacy of greatness that's been there and in that facility. Oh man, tremendously. I think most importantly is how he's helped me as a man of God, and in my faith. I think that'll last longer than anything that I'll do on the football field.
Asking about your support system, how important is it for the mental health part of your game, having those people behind you?
Man, it's everything. Whether I play good or bad. No matter what, my family, the people who are there for me, in those moments is big time, and I'm just grateful to have that great support system.
Of NIL, guys grabbing bags from school to school to school. Some rumors you had some big offers to leave Boise State. Talk about staying true to Boise State.
Yeah, I mean that guy right there. Once they told me he was, getting the job, I knew that there was nowhere else to be, and I knew they would give me a little bit of change, So, but I think for me, it's legacy, it's impact. You can't buy those things. There's no price tag you can put on that, and Boise State was the only place that I could continue that and leave something that will be there for forever.
Ashton,
Learning a new playbook. Obviously, better competition. Each and every week, and just getting better in the places that I need to. So that I can be an asset. To the team off the rip.
Ashton, I think we have a question in here. So, hey, how are
Good. How you doing?
you? Doing good. When I talked to you a month ago at the Combine, we talked about the great running backs in this league. What are your initial thoughts on how to cement yourself as one of them?
Yeah, I think I'm going into a great system, so I know they'll give me the ball, give me opportunities to make plays for the offense, but just continuing to get better, taking it to the next level in the hard work that I do, and it'll continue to translate on the field.
Ashton, you trained with trainer Ronnie Braxton in Dallas. How did he help you get to this point?
Real truth, man. Man, he just pushes me to another level, right? And he keeps it real with you each and every single day. So I'm just grateful for that relationship, to have him, and he'll continue to help me, get better and get stronger and faster, and be a great running back.
Talk about change. You're not playing on the field anymore. So what's that gonna be like being a normal?
Man, it's gonna be weird, man. But I gotta go back to the regular green grass. But I'm excited for it.
New city, new jersey, new team. What stays the same?
Who I am, the person that I am, what's got me here, the work that I put in, the humbleness, the energy, the passion, all of that will never change.
How has your Haitian culture impacted your game?
In a lot of ways, just Haitian culture, just the influence of having people take over the country and not getting things the way they're supposed to, or having to work for each and every single thing, and my family being from there, that's been put on me to work for every single thing that you get, because it's always earned, it's not given.
Ashton, you meet Chris Jones in the hole. You got a move or two ready for him?
I do, for sure.
Ashton, what was it like having your head coach and your athletic director in the green room with you in that moment? What was it like?
It's amazing, because they helped me get to this point. They've put a lot into me. They believed in me, when nobody else did, and I'm grateful to share that experience with them.
Actually, what was going through your head when you heard your name called?
Man, I'm just super excited, just ready to run through a brick wall.
Ashton, do you have a message for all the fantasy football players? They're so happy that you are a Raider right now.
Shoot, draft me so you can win your, fantasy football, championship.
Last two.
Hey, you're 26 yards shy of breaking Barry Sanders' record. You just talked about fantasy football. What's the stat sheet look like at this first season?
Say that again, sorry.
What's the stat sheet going to look like at this first season?
I can't tell you exactly, but it's going to be amazing for sure.
Yesterday you said there was nothing to do in Green Bay, so what's the first thing you want to do in Bay?
Probably just take a tour of the city, see everything.
I heard Buffalo Wild Wings, but I saw the feet up.
Yeah, maybe some Buffalo Wild Wings.
One more. What do you have to say to Raider Nation about you coming?
Man, they getting a great person, and I'm gonna come in and do my thing, and I'm just super excited, for Raider Nation. The energy. I love the fan base already. So I'm excited to come into that community and bring change for the better.
Love you. All right, thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.